A puzzle game with an interesting or creative concept can be very enjoyable if done well, and the game Chromagun tries to do just that. But is it like witnessing a giant beautiful rainbow, or do the colors on this game end up fading way too quickly? Chromagun is a first-person perspective puzzle game that very much emulates Portal as far as game design is concerned, but instead of having portals to teleport around, all this game's puzzles are based around color. The game story is pretty minimal. You're playing as somebody who's working for a company called Chromatech who gives you a Chromagun in order to go through its facility and complete its various test chambers. The game features 8 different chapters that are broken up into 5 to 7 rooms in each one of the chapters, all containing different styles of puzzles. The game does mix in a little bit of fast-paced action where you have to quickly get through areas before the room ends up kind of collapsing on you, but this is only done in a couple of rooms throughout the entire game. But for the most part, you're going to be using your Chromagun in order to paint robots and walls in order to activate switches and progress through each one of the game's rooms. The game uses its color system quite well. You're introduced to the game's mechanics pretty slowly at first, with only one color at your disposal, but quickly you'll have 3 colors, red, yellow, and blue to use. You can mix up these colors in order to have green, orange, and purple as well. There's also black, which represents if you painted something way too many times, or white, which means there's no color currently on it. The game uses a fair amount of creativity when it comes to its puzzles, and each room will probably take you a few moments before you finally figure out what you need to do in order to start progressing through it. Some rooms took me 10, 15, 20 minutes in order to figure out, while other ones only took a couple of minutes. The game does its best to try to emulate the charm of Portal, including a guy who's talking to you throughout the test chambers, mostly done at the very beginning of the game to kind of give you a tutorial, and he has a very sarcastic nature to him. The thing is, though, a little bit into the game, he just pretty much stops talking. There's a lot of rooms in the game where he doesn't speak at all, unless you end up failing. If you end up dying in a room, you will have the same, 3 lines of dialogue he'll tell you every time you end up respawning. But outside of that, there's just not a whole lot of interaction between you and that particular character, except at some really key moments of the game's plot. The game also feels a bit disjointed in its storytelling. I don't want to spoil much about the plot, but there is a point in the game where some things happen and you think the game's going to kind of take a shift because of this, but at the same time it doesn't. A few rooms later, you're back to doing the same kind of rooms you've been doing the entire rest of the game. From the technical side of things, the game didn't crash on me, but it slows down all the time. Just looking around a room, it drops in frame rate consistently. It's something that happens in every room and every part of the game throughout it. Well, for the most part, this doesn't end up hurting you too bad, as you can take your time solving puzzles, but there are a few moments where you have to work quickly, firing off multiple shots in a fast manner, and because of it breaking down and slowing up, made certain rooms harder than they needed to be. Chromagun is available on PS4, Xbox One, and PC for $12.99. On the PS4, it does have a full trophy list including a platinum, and it's a really easy platinum to get. Overall, the styles of puzzles and their execution for the most part are quite enjoyable in Chromagun. The thing is, the game tries way too much to emulate Portal, and I think this ends up hurting it. The game's not particularly long, taking about 4 to 5 hours to complete it, as well as the technical issues really ended up bogging down the game. With everything said, I'm going to be giving Chromagun a 6 out of 10. But anyway guys, it's going to wrap up this review. I'd like to thank you for watching, and of course I hope you enjoyed.